All right, so the federal carbon tax is about to kick in for Ontario, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and New Brunswick, and it is going to add about 4 cents, for between 4 and 5 cents a liter to the price of gas. Now, this is just phase one. There's going to be more increments coming up in the next years until April of 2022. And that's going to add a complete of $50 a ton to carbon. Now, this is one of the worst things possible out there for the economy because, and this is just starting now, this is going to increase the price of practically everything. No one's going to escape from the increase of prices. If we're already, if Canada's already in the slow down mode because of Trudeau, we're really going to now go into complete stall and then predict a complete reversal. Here's the whole thing about carbon tax. First of all, it's never proven to actually work and actually do anything to reduce carbon. The one country in the world that in 2017, which is the last data collected, that actually reduced carbon was the United States. Take that in for a minute. They actually reduced carbon, their carbon footprint. And in a big way, too. Not just like 1 or 2 points. We're talking like I think it was 12 or 13 points difference in a very big way. So this has never worked anywhere. Where it has worked, or what it's done, is impoverished the countries that have implemented it, starting with Europe. Europe started this in 1992, and all the countries that have partaked in this have had an economic slowdown. This is one of the things. I mean, it's not the only reason, but it is a big enough reason that everybody starts to slow down once they implement the carbon tax. All these countries, I mean, China, I'm not, they say they implement, who the heck knows? That's a totally different system. You can't even trust them. But all these other countries who have implemented have actually, their economies have actually stalled. And Europe is basically, could be in a complete disaster in a couple of years. As soon as Germany, I mean, like we have problems with Spain, Italy, Greece, France now, and Germany and other countries that are now looking like their economies are starting to soften up and weaken as well. So and countries that did implement them and have increased the prices of fuel, countries like France have now suffered enormous turmoil. The French people themselves now have been squeezed to the point where this is 20 weeks of protest. And it's countrywide protest. And the media here in the West is hardly covering this. There are thousands upon thousands all over. I mean, they're not going so much in Paris anymore because Paris is heavily policed. And they actually now brought in the army, so it's quite risky to go into Paris. But other cities have increased their protesters. So, I mean, it's balanced out of Paris and more into the surrounding cities. Macron is what Trudeau is aiming to be. And this is incredible because Macron has pretty much destroyed the buying power of France. There's nothing more destructive to the economy than to take the ability of the people to actually purchase and buy things. And this is exactly what this tax is doing. It is preventing people from actually being able to buy the extras. They now have to choose. In France, they now have to choose between transporting to work, food, and other securities, and very little on luxury items, which is actual in fact hurting the economy. So, I mean, and of course, Trudeau's doing this really for the tax grab. But every time and this is so true in so many countries that have done this, who have increased the taxes. There's a tax grab at the beginning, but it starts to fade away. And that's why somebody like Trump, who comes in and reverses the trend, all of a sudden they see a boom in the economy. When Obama left, he did many things he implemented many rules and regulations to slow down the economy. I mean, this guy really put a pitchfork in the whole wheel of the American economy. And Trump, the first couple months, all he did was reverse what Obama was doing. And that in itself was relief for the economy. And then when he implemented his tax breaks, that even surged the American economy more. There's nothing new about this. This has been done over and over and over again, so it should not be a surprise. Trudeau should not be surprised when Canadian economy starts to drop because of these carbon tax that he's now going to implement. We'll see in a little while just how effective this carbon tax is and how destructive it is to the economy. Now, the only thing we can say is that the elections are not too far off, and by God, he's got to go. This turd blossom of a prime minister has got to leave so we can get some kind of recovery going here. But in between now and the elections, he can still do an immense amount of damage to our economy. I would like to see him go now, but I guess we'll have to wait because, I mean, obviously the man can break laws all left, right, and center, and nobody's going after him. So we'll just have to wait till the elections, and let's hope that the Libranos get totally wiped out because we cannot take this garbage anymore. Thanks for watching.